You were the lead detective in the case?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So the overall responsibility for the investigation would fall to you, is that right?
Yes, sir, it should.
How many witnesses did you interview yourself in this investigation?
I spoke to a Cater Donaldson for a few minutes.
Did you do a thorough interview of her?
No, sir, she was too emotional to talk to at the time.
Did you do a thorough interview of Mr. Stevens?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay. Who did you do thorough interviews of?
Brenton Butler.
Okay. Anybody else?
No, sir.
So you have this young fellow in there. He was put in a locked room, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sound-resistant locked room, right?
Yes, sir.
So you have this young fellow in there, and you're asking him questions, and he's telling you, I was at home, and I had yogurt, and did these things, right?
Yes, sir.
Wouldn't it be relatively simple to go out and ask his parents, was he home?
Yes, sir.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't.
Well, you do a thorough, competent, meticulous investigation, right?
Your Honor, that's argumentative and absolutely has no role.
Overruled. You have some leeway there.
Is that right, sir?
I tried to, yes, sir.
Wouldn't it be thorough and competent and meticulous to just drive out there or pick up the phone and say, can you tell me what your son's activities were today? If you saw him, when you saw him, what was he wearing? Could you have done that?
Yes, sir, I could have.
Why didn't you?
Well, I was in the process of interviewing him. I had positive ID, and I had parents that told two detectives that are on my team that they had seen their son 30 minutes prior to them arriving. He was in our custody at that time, and the
I'm sorry.
And the parents had also said it wasn't unusual for Brenton to leave early in the morning without them seeing him.
Okay. You knew you didn't have a gun. You knew you didn't have a purse. You knew you didn't have any money. You knew you didn't have a fisherman's hat, right?
That's all correct.
Okay. Did you ask Brent, can I go search your house or your room?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you get a search warrant for his house?
No, sir, I did not.
You wanted to find a gun and a purse and bloody clothes and everything else, right?
Yes, sir. Would have been nice.
So why not get a search warrant?
Well, we just didn't get a search warrant.
Okay. Did you go out and knock on any of the neighbors' doors and say, excuse me, did you see Brenton Butler outside of his house between 7 and 8 this morning, or 6 and 8?
No, sir, I did not.
Okay. You didn't do that May 7th?
No, sir.
Do you consider that thorough and competent?
Perhaps I should have done it, sir.
Did you tell Brenton Butler that you had sent policemen out to his house and his parents had been told where he was?
Yes, sir. As I said, the detectives went out to his house and spoke with his parents.
Well, spoke and tell are different words. Do you recall which?
No, sir, I don't recall which one was said.
Did you tell him his parents had been told he was down there?
I told him his parents were... Detectives had been out to his house, and that the detectives had been at his house, and I don't know what was said. I don't remember exactly what was said. The detectives had been out to his house. That's the only thing that I remember saying. As far as how he took it, is whether they were informed that he was there or not, I don't know. He asked if my parents come down yet. I said, no, they haven't. But no detectives have been out to your house.
On September 27th, when you were under oath, knowing the matters you were being questioned about well in advance, and giving the answer that you did, you were certainly trying to tell the truth at that time, right?
Yes, sir.
And since then, you just don't recollect, or did you forget, or what happened?
No, sir, I don't remember exactly how that part of the conversation with Brenton went.
Okay.
If that's what I said.
Okay. So that part of the whole truth is lost to us, right?
No, sir.
Do you know how we can establish it?
No, sir.
Then it's lost, isn't it?
If you think so, sir.
Did you tell him that you would arrange for an attorney for him?
I said we could make arrangements for that.
Okay. Did you tell him you would arrange an attorney for him?
I said we can make arrangements for that.
Okay. Did you make the first arrangement?
No, sir, did not.
Did you pick up the phone?
No, sir.
You just told the young man at noon he had a right to an attorney, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you told him you'd arrange for one, right?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't.
That's correct.
You didn't take the first step on making good on that promise.
I didn't promise him, sir. I just made a statement to him. And no, I did not make a phone call.
Okay. When you say, we'll arrange an attorney for you, that's not a promise?
I don't make promises to the individuals I'm interviewing.
I'm not sure I follow. If you
I
say
said-
you're going to do
I-
something,
Yes, sir, but it wasn't said, it wasn't brought across as something I promise you I'll do. Or make it, it wasn't said, I promise you I will go do something.
so you only do it if you promise?
No, sir. You brought the word up, promise.
Well, you didn't do it, right?
That's correct.
Would you have done it if you said, I promise?
Well, I would have decided when it got to that point.
You knew less than 100 yards from where you sat, there was a courtroom in operation with a public defender, right?
I'm not sure the distance, but there was a trial courtroom. Attorneys are there by the jail.
In retrospect, do you think perhaps you could have been more thorough and more competent in the investigation?
Perhaps, sir, it's always good to self-judge yourself. See, make sure you do a better job next time.
Thank you, sir. Hey, last night I got home late and I didn't get a chance to eat. Did you hear Brent Butler say that?
No, sir.
Did he ever say, I approached an older white man and woman and asked for spare change? Did you hear him say that?
No, sir, did not.
Did you hear him ask Detective Darnell to write the statement out for him?
No, sir.
Did you hear him say, during the portion of conversation you monitored with Darnell, did he ever describe with any particularity or the clothing of the lady he supposedly shot?
I never heard him say that, sir.
While you were monitoring Darnell, did you ever hear him say he shot anybody?
No, sir.